Alright, we are here doing Dawn versus Wake of Gods, Gold Cycle 6, round of 8. Two teams that have some promise, to be certain. Dawn, a recent Diamond Division team, and Wake of Gods has progressed reasonably far in Gold Division in previous cycles, so should be a pretty solid match considering this is the round of 8. And joining me is Znoowy, who's been on before, because he's awesome. He just shows up and he casts, which is really nice.
Hey, thank you.
And then in the 6, recently of Night Raid, now of Thanks for the MMR, which apparently just made goal as well. So, US HoN hype. Yay!
US!
USA! Can we call Prime Icarus a US team because Shortcan's on it?
What? What?
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Are you talking about his accent?
It's still amazing to me. Like, I love Shortcan, he's great. And it's the most amazing thing. I don't understand how he sounds perfectly American. It's because he went into an international school apparently, so it just makes me so
He lived in Malaysia for like his 10 years or something when he was young, so he probably picked up foreign accent or something.
He told me he went to an international school or something like that, so that was probably where the neutral accent came from. But it's pretty awesome. Sorry, I always have to talk about Shortcan because Shortcan's like my buddy, and Znoowy's in the same team as Shortcan, so therefore any way I can get to Shortcan is really important to me. In the 6, do you have any connections to Shortcan I should know about?
Just played against him in TMM. I don't know him.
That's good enough.
Personally.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Anyway, got the draft underway here. Silhouette and Crack are the first two bans from Dawn. However, we're going to take out Ophelia and Cthulhuphant, so Swiftblade unbanned. And what a surprise! It's the first pick, followed up by the Parasite. So I'm expecting Tempest third pick from the Legion side, and they're going to go with Magnus. So Dawn going to get a really ridiculously powerful lineup, assuming that WoG don't pick Tempest here, which they probably won't.
And this is before the new patch.
Yeah, this
which
is pre-patch.
Nerfed Swiftblade.
A little bit.
And Parasite.
I think both those heroes actually should be very well balanced right now. Parasite, they did exactly what I wanted them to do with Parasite.
And it took away the snowball effect with the fucking catapult, which was super annoying to deal with.
It's just stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
And
now you don't actually have to like draft something that's specifically good versus catapults.
Right. Or
so, that's
get
good.
a bunch of alchemist bones that you don't actually want to. And I've actually heard some people say
you're actually right.
That what?
The Tempest pick.
Yeah,
the Tempest pick. You were right on that.
That should have been coming. Like, that was really obvious, wasn't it? Once they first picked the Parasite on Hellborn, Tempest was available. Dawn likes junglers. No Ophelia for Iceland Go-Go. They don't have to second pick the Tempest because they already have Parasite on the Hellborn team, so should have been the third Tempest. That was my logic.
Guess. Still feeling like Magnus and Swiftblade are very offensive heroes, and Tempest kind of ruins that. But
I think they
guess they go for the mid-oriented team.
I mean, Tempest Magnus is a pretty great combination. Portal key stuns potentially.
That's true. That's true. But then they got the Swiftblade as well, and like, I guess that the WoG can't man up though, since they already have the Swiftblade and the Magnus, which are two like the most powerful heroes in the early games. So maybe that's what I'm thinking.
And two very strong laners as well, so they're not going to get hurt too badly by the jungle. Although Hellborn's running jungle too, so it doesn't matter. The thing I wanted to say was, there's some suggestions I've heard now that people are going to start to run Codex Parasite again because of the nerf to Infest. You think that's viable?
I saw that in team matchmaking yesterday. I was playing a few games after coming back from the holidays, and I played this Parasite player 2 or 3 games in a row, and he just he made it work to perfection. Like, he was so annoying to deal with. He was just roaming around all the time, even buying a restoration stone to just be able to use Codex twice. And I don't know if it's viable in competitive, but it sure that's how it worked out in team matchmaking.
I don't think the restoration stone is viable.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no on that one. I don't see a reason to get that over Puzzle Box, even if you already have a Codex, just because Puzzle Box is a really great item. Yeah, so could see a little more variability in Parasite builds going forward, because at this point it's more or less Puzzle Box, Puzzle Box, Puzzle Box. I think I've seen like early Abyssal Skull a couple of times, and that's been weird, and usually it hasn't worked. But
yeah, that doesn't work. I've been
Like
seeing Lex Talionis in Parasite for
I've heard about that too. Makes,
Combined with the codex for work.
yeah, makes a fair degree of sense, and it gives him some more utility as opposed to just being a bursty hero that once he uses his spells, he's more or less useless. Anyway,
I think
second
the puzzle
stage.
box is gonna be better though.
I
Oh wait,
do.
a question here.
Sure.
I got a question. The puzzle box, does that spot the smoked target or the vile rote?
The mushroom,
Should.
yeah.
Yeah, the mushroom.
Should.
It shows them while it's invis. I don't know if it breaks it.
Because Red Wards doesn't reveal it.
Right.
It doesn't?
No.
No, Red Ward, you can run over Red Wards with the smoke.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm curious about if puzzle box actually works as a counter or if it doesn't.
It should.
My inkling
Yeah.
is yes. I think purely because Puzzle Box reveals wards and like Bound Eye doesn't. So I think maybe Puzzle Box sees through like anything that's invisible. My question would be, okay,
yes.
so if it doesn't, if Parasite's inside the minion, does that count as the hero being nearby? I would assume so.
Yeah, that's another
That's what
good
I was
question.
wondering.
But like
I don't
potentially that could be weird. Alright. Anyway, second stage bans go through. Dr. Pulsar, Pharaoh, and Ravener going to be banned out by Labyrinth. Pyromancer, Empath, and Rhapsody going to be taken out by Moats on the Hellborn side. And Valkyrie, third or fourth pick on the Legion team, which is a little greedy for me. I'm not sure.
Support Valkyrie?
Doesn't make sense at all right now.
I don't think it's going to be support.
Like, they already have a Glacius, a Prisoner, and Parasite. There are 3 heroes who are really, really good against Valkyrie on locking her down and just
Sure.
bursting her
Yeah.
down.
They have
And
Bloodhunter,
on
too.
top of that, they doesn't have any... Yeah, and Bloodhunter now as well. But they don't even have any place to lane the Valkyrie. Like, I
Suicide?
expect Swiftblade to be the Suicide.
I mean,
So
they
they're
can
running Swiftblade
suicide.
safe lane then?
They can suicide any of the 3 heroes they have right now.
Yeah, exactly. They could also do Valkyrie Magnus Longley.
Yeah, that's true too. If they want to run the support valve.
But that wouldn't be too efficient, seeing as WoG already got a Parasite. That would be super risky.
Yeah.
Alright, well, they're soft picking the bubbles. So, alright. It's going to be a support Valk. Interesting.
Okay.
I'm a fan.
Why? Why are you a fan?
Because there are 2...
No, it's not a support Valkyrie. It's a support Magnus.
Oh, I'm less of a fan of
Unless they are just swapping around
that.
for
I think they're just
screwing with the
messing
last
with
pick.
it. I don't think they're going to run a solo support melee Valk Magnus. That seems really...
If they... How are they gonna lane?
This is look like Suicide Swiftblade mid bubbles, probably short lane? No, it's got to be a short lane Swifty and a support Valk, right? Because they can't put Probosk on Magnus. That'd be weird.
I wouldn't go with a Magnus Suicide versus a Bloodhunter Glacius though. That's Suicide. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
Bubbles and Mag get countered by that lane. They'd have to put Switchblade down.
Okay,
know.
and then this... Maybe this is what it's going to be.
I sure hope not.
This is really
You'd
strange.
rather Valk support?
Oh wait, what did you guys say? I was talking about the right click.
Oh,
hero
Gravekeeper? No, I'm still trying. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell Dawn's doing. But yeah, that'd be interesting too. We don't see Gravekeeper ever. I think he's one of the few heroes that has not been picked yet. In Diamond, at least.
They can't pick him in this game though. Geomonster?
Yeah, it's gonna be Geomancer. That's okay.
They have no physical damage whatsoever though, and even though they have a Prisoner which is pretty good against Swiftblade, I just don't see them killing him unless they get the silence off with the Bloodhunter.
They also have a
So I feel
Formula
like
Core,
it's gonna have a field time. That as well.
so that's...
And
something
it
I'm
reverses a
not
Tempest,
fan of.
and a Bubbles, and a Magnus with 4 melee core. Like,
That's-
oh god, the AoE damage is just gonna melt them.
That's gonna be a bit of a problem, but they're not swapping, so this is gonna be Probosk Valkyrie and a third support solo Magnus, which...
It's super weird.
Yep, this ain't Dota.
Like, I mean,
think-
yeah, go ahead.
I think he's just gonna farm the pool camp, and the Valk's gonna 1v1 the Geomancer.
Yeah, but he's gonna lose that.
Yeah, he
I
is.
think.
Or
Or
it's
maybe it's
Grasp
gonna
and Crush
equal,
him.
but if Crush gets levels, I feel like they're gonna be in a good spot.
But I don't think Magnus can do anything about a Geomancer
No, he
whatsoever.
can't.
So I think that's what they're gonna have to do.
Like, Recent Gaming likes to run the Magnus as the second support, playing it as near and pulling in the woods and all that kind of stuff, and I like that. I mean, that works for them. But that's like only when you have another hard support in your team.
Tempest.
Exactly. Like, he needs a portal key on that hero, otherwise he's going to be useless after the laning phase. And seeing as he's the one who's going to pick up the wards, and also seeing as they don't have too much push potential in this leading team, like, he's not going to get any gold whatsoever.
Yeah.
They bought him a potion. Who is that bought Magnus a potion?
I don't know. I can't see. It's bugging.
I know it's bugged. It can't. It says borrowing.
Iceland Go-Go.
Yeah,
it's
a long
definitely
name
the
at least.
Tempest. It's definitely the Tempest because he doesn't have any gold left.
Speaking of which, he's got tangos.
Items.
And 1 mana pot?
Probably going Chalice.
Alright.
Probably going Chalice.
That's interesting.
I so disagree with this laning from WoG though. I feel like they had perfect laning more or less, but now they screwed it up and went for an offensive tri-lane.
Yeah. This is weird, because Geomancer would have done very well against Valkyrie in the bottom lane. So, this is actually going to be a better situation for her. All she has to do is avoid the hooks and she'll be fine. Apparently WoG doesn't want a remake, and they're not going to because this is a replay, so clearly that's not going to happen.
No, there are pauses coming out. Yeah, they don't want a remake.
And this is why we have auto-skip pause.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
yeah, maybe we should just check up the times so that we load it in.
Yeah. In the in-game, I'm at 39, 40, 41, 42,
I'm at 41,
43,
42.
44. If you're a second behind me, it's fine.
I was like 6 or 7 seconds ahead of you guys. So
yeah, that's not atypical.
Now I'm back at least, so I'm not gonna scream out of excitement when something fun happens.
So...
Alright.
So yeah, what's going on?
There's a lot of fighting in the jungle here. Magnus is going to put the sun on the Glacius, but they're not going to get anything out of this. Are they? Well, there's actually a lot of Tempest and Elemental damage, and one more sun from Magnus could get this kill. Maybe.
Why is he running that way?
Wow.
Like, oh
Tempest got him. Nice.
Like, what? He could have just kept running and it would have been 100% fine. Like, now
like
Parasite has to leave as well. I don't know whoever made that call to go for a freaking offensive tri-lane. That's a terrible call, and that's probably what's causing them.
Arrow right in the face of Prisoner as well, and they could possibly get this kill. Valkyrie has Leap and not the call, and Restrain going to go on the Valk, so we'll see if they actually have enough damage. Yep, the Leap forward, a couple more auto attacks will do this, but the health pot actually going to allow Prisoner to barely survive. Hook is not going to connect, and that's probably a good thing. I don't know why you'd go for a hook right there.
No, I think that would have been fine if, because Glacius had a freeze available.
Yeah.
So if he would have gotten into the tower, I think that would have been a kill. I think that was fine.
I don't think they could have killed the Valk.
He would have melted in the tower range though.
He had no lead.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to be like super deep. He could have walked out of it, I'm sure. So what, like a 2 second freeze?
You're overestimating
1.5 second freeze?
HP in that case.
He had 450 health and it was a 1.5 second freeze. What are they going to do?
I'm pretty sure it was that. It doesn't matter. Maybe it was it. Top lane, by the way, is completely spinning here versus Geomancer, and if they just communicate right now in WoG, they would have had a free kill on him, but nope,
the Parasite's right there. Probably right next to him.
But yeah, not gonna take that one.
And this is the Keizu strat to apparently just spin all the waves, get a bunch of mana pots.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's working out.
It's the way to play it, at least if you're 1 versus 1. Obviously, you can't do it if you're up, or if you don't have any vision, like you saw there. I mean, they could have gotten a kill on him if they just communicated a bit, but it's really annoying to play against. Especially like if you're a ranged hero, there's no way you can last it in the tower range at early levels. Or like obviously you can if you're really good at it, but it's tricky and you're gonna miss 1 or 2 at least.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I can last it in tower range.
Sometimes the tower fucks it up as well.
That's true. Oh, let's attack a different creep for absolutely no reason. The other one's still in range. I just feel like going after this one instead. It's very confusing. But yeah, Time to Die having a good time up in this top lane. 250 GPM for him. 340 though actually for Crush 1 of this Geomancer, who's also doing extremely well. But he's gonna get spun on and he's gonna force to dig away, so it's not bad. Time to Die. I've said this like a couple of times, but one of the most underrated and unknown suicide players in the scene right now. The dude is
Yeah,
really
I feel
good.
the same. He's really good.
Like, I've seen him play so well. Pharaoh, Kronos, Swiftblade.
Cthulhu Font.
Yeah, well, Cthulhufin's Cthulhufin. Saying you can play a good Cthulhufin is not very impressive in my opinion. But he's bounced around in a couple of teams. He's still tagged up as Don't Care, but Yellow Rex are no longer a part of Dawn, and they've replaced him with Time to Die, which I think is an upgrade, personally. Yellow Rexar is a good player, but Time to Die is very, very good. He's having a solid time up here. And then middle lane is Bubbles taking on a Blood Hunter, which I hate.
Bubble should never win that lane. He's doing really well though for how bad that matchup is for him.
And Parasite gonna spot him out a little bit.
Because it's decent, at least.
Yeah.
Bubbles will take the invis and head on back to the middle lane. Perhaps get some levels.
Parasite 150 GPM, not doing too well.
Yeah. He's been
as long as
forced
he
to move
gets
around.
levels, it's fine, but he should really utilize the fact that Swiftblade is spinning at the top lane, like every now and then. Like getting 1 kill on him would like get him straight back into the game.
And Parasite isn't even getting levels either. I mean, he's level 4. That's not anything that's all that impressive.
Yeah, I don't know
And
what he's doing. Now he's running
hit
towards
4.
mid.
Anyway,
They're
bottom
going
lane,
with-
Prisoner gonna be jumps and kill pretty easily. And Glacius trying to teleport away. No stun, so it's gonna be a successful TP. Elgul getting out. Middle lane, Bloodhunter putting the Hemorrhage and the Silence on the Bubbles. There's no way Labyrinth is surviving that, so easy kill. Parasite trying to leech out, get the kill steal, but unsuccessful.
At least he got some levels, or at least he got some experience. So, but WoG is actually doing pretty well.
Yeah.
In these lanes, like the Bloodhunter and Geomonster is doing some really impressive plays, or really impressive like laning plays at least, or whatever you call it.
They're having a good laning
thing
phase. I
is-
wouldn't have expected Geomancer to do this well.
They totally prioritize the Geomancer's farm over Prisoner, and that makes no sense because Geomancer's all spell oriented, and Prisoner needs to survive. He doesn't have an escape like Geo, so he needs to get the farm for PK and Treads, or he's gonna be useless.
They shouldn't stay here at the bot lane at least. They should get out of here now. Like, there's
They
no
should've
way they're
rotated.
gonna be able to do anything. They should just try to set up kills on the Swiftblade and the Bubbles non-stop. I mean, they got the Bloodhunter silence, so kill on mid is not too hard to accomplish.
And they've got
Ulti? I
Crush
don't want
one
to dive, I guess.
with 330 GPM. Probot's only 270, Iceland Go-Go 250, and the Magnus at 130. So if they transition this Geomancer to the bottom lane, he would still do very well, and that allows Prisoner to take some top farm. So if Glacius is there, I think they could get something on Prisoner and improve him.
Yeah,
from
they should definitely try to set
175.
something up, because the Tempest is here all the time, like running forward and backwards for no reason, to be honest. They shouldn't be pushing until he's level 7, in
Top
my
lane,
opinion.
Geomancer's just barely gonna survive. Bubbles has a Shell Surf in 5 seconds. He's trying to chase this down, but the bottle charges from Geomancer might be enough. 2 seconds, 1 second. It's gonna have to be a good Shell Surf. No dig, counters it pretty easily. And Crush 1 will survive. So good gank from Labyrinth, realizing he can't do too much in the middle lane. Might as well try to do something else, but actually he's gonna eat an Earth's Grasp here, and Geomancer needs to be careful about this. He's got dig up, so it's missing stuff on the bottom. Big's dead. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure why Tempest is down there trying to push, like, versus a Prisoner as well, who can just hook all his elementals in immediately. He's just wasting time. Like, he needs to optimize farming. He's 230 GPM when he has had complete free farm the entire game. That's just not acceptable.
So he went bottle too.
yeah.
I mean, that works, I guess, if he's covering the bot runes, but, like, still, I don't know.
I don't understand his initial build then. Why would you go Tangos? Like, I guess they wanted to be really, really aggressive, but it meant he only had 1 mana pot, and like that's probably why he's at 225 gold per minute, is because he just doesn't have any mana for elementals, so he can't farm.
Right now the game is in like complete lockdown. Like the Legion side is like scared of where Hellborn is, and same goes for the Hellborn. And I don't know why Prisoner is down here. I mean, look at his health. Like they literally have no wards around. Okay, actually they got a Parasite running in a Wild Hunter here, so that's might be why. But this is still super fucking risky.
And now Parasite's gonna be in some trouble. Double damage. Bubble's gonna catch him, and he's gonna get stunned out by the Glacial Blast and the Magma. So Labyrinth will pick up the last auto attack with the right click.
Why are they doing that? Why are they there?
I don't know, they keep focusing this bot lane when all they should be doing is trying to get a puzzle box on the Parasite and just keep getting pickoffs with this Blood Hunter ultimate.
Yeah.
Silence? I don't know why Blood Hunter doesn't silence the Swiftblade instead, but it might work out for him because...
Yeah, got the Hemorrhage on, and now Swiftblade's running away. He was realizing pretty quickly this is a bad thing, and he's gonna die. Swift Slash not enough to take down the Geomancer.
Why did Bloodhunter silence himself?
Well, maybe he doesn't like to cast spells. Bottom lane, Glacier's going to get picked off as well as Fetches on the Prisoner, so 2 for nothing. Going in favor of Dawn. We're going to turn this into a tower push.
Alright, they're going to get it.
He's going Energizer for 7-1 Valkyrie. I like that a lot.
The Legion have overrun a Hellborn FOB.
They're going to be aggressive.
Considering Probus is playing Valkyrie, we've barely talked about Valkyrie. I really like Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie and Polywog Priest are 2 massively underrated heroes right now that need to be
Polywog is going to be viable now after the patch, at least.
I think he was viable before, but...
Wait, are they changing Polywog?
He was so hard to play before because he didn't have a laning phase.
He had issues laning, but I think in a CC-oriented hero like that, for as many like hard carries as we saw, especially high mobility hard carries, we should have seen a lot more Polywog.
It's alright, but it's still like you need a BKB more or less, like because competitive is a lot about the team fights. You can get as many pickups as you want, but it's still like gonna be the team fights that determine the game in the end, or at most times at least. Unless one side is heavily dominating, and therefore the Polywog's tongue-tied is so difficult to, you know.
But you don't have to channel it forever. I think it's
exactly.
You have it in the same sense that Rhapsody has an ultimate. You don't need a BKB on that because it forces the other team to focus the support, which is not what they want to do. So if you have a tongue-tie that's locking down something that's important on the other team, and it forces somebody to use a stun on a support that they don't want to use, that's one stun that the is not going to go on the core. And that's what the value is. And then you also have a Null Stone Breaker in the nuke, and then you have another CC tool for, I mean, like, as much as we see Repulsor, and as much as we see Silhouette and Swiftblade, having CC tools like that, for those heroes, kills them so damn quickly. And I feel like we should have seen a lot more Polywog because of that, but... Anyway, Valkyrie is the one that's in this game.
Yep.
And Valkyrie I very much like because I don't think people realize how hard she can carry, and I don't think people realize exactly how versatile she is. I legitimately think you can run her as a carry, a support, a mid, and a suicide. Not necessarily...
I agree with everything except mid.
Yeah,
I mean, you
it
can
all
put her
depends on
mid.
what you're up against.
Yeah.
Like, she's not gonna carry that much. Or, like, she is gonna carry if she gets the items.
Will.
Yeah, well, it depends though. Like, it really does, because she doesn't have any farming abilities, or like, she got a Thunder Ball,
She's
which
got
is
the
really good.
thing, the call. You put a Null Stone
Yeah,
on
but
her, she can
her
spam
mana
that.
pool is too low for her to
Null
use
Stone.
that all the time. Also, yeah, sure, that works as well, but then she's not gonna be too useful in the fights. She works if she gets to really late game oriented, or if she got a lot of stunners on her team, but like, she can't take over a game like a Silhouette or a Dr. Repulsor or something like that in the same way. But I mean, in these ganks oriented and like passive split push lineups, she works really well. I mean, just look at Recent, they're running it so successfully.
And middle lane, different guy getting it killed. That's actually a good point. Jonathan's not on the team for this cycle. I think he's playing for somebody else. I forget who. But he rung for somebody. I don't know if he's actually changing teams, but different guy is the one playing the Magnus. And as far as I know, that's actually a different player.
Yeah, it is. It's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Because I know WoG is.
Yeah, he was from Sources kicked before the cycle started.
Which is okay. I don't think.
Which is alright.
I think.
I think he came back. I think he was inactive for a little bit. Then
Arrow
he came
gonna
back
hit
and he
the
was on
green
top of
one.
his game. But I think he's getting back to it now.
There were some iffy plays that he had in Cycle 5 for WoG that may have cost him some games. I just remember watching a bunch of WoG games and repeatedly thinking, this guy has so much farm, and he's the carry, and he needs to do way more than he is. He's getting picked off, and he's not doing the right thing, he's not buying the right items. Anyway.
Yeah, that's something like people tend to forget as well. Like they're like, okay, this guy, he's the hard carry, he's doing just as much as everyone, but the thing is that he should be doing so much more than everyone else on his team when it gets to a certain point. But people just doesn't see that. It's the same with like support players or something. They're just like, they don't see what's really going on unless you're actually in like the Skype, or if you know, you got the full picture.
And there's a really big reason why a lot of captains are support players. It's because they're not just running around and warding, they're making a lot of calls, and they're keeping an eye on a lot of things.
Yeah, it's easier as well. Like you don't have to be constantly focused on last hitting or looking at your 1 versus 1 opponent, for example, during laning phase, because you can actually like always have an eye on the minimap, and it's easier because you're usually in the background of the fights to make calls and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think it's that's a good one.
It definitely makes sense, and so people. It's easy to look at the game and look at a support player and be like, oh, they're 1 in 7 or something like that, and oh, sure, they've been warding and stuff, but they're still not having that big of an impact and things. And you have to remember, it's not just the things that you can even see, and of the things that you can see, they're not always obvious. So, yes, the point is, being a support in HoN is really hard, and it sucks. Top lane, so Blake gonna be caught as he gets killed. Silence, successful.
Yep, Geomonster in the mid lane now picked up his Polky as well, so I think they're gonna try to set something up here on Bubbles.
And Swifty really needs an Abyssal Skull. He's at 240.
Yeah, he's still
Where the
got
hell
red
is his money?
marchers. I don't know why he has red marchers either. I mean, he was in a 1 versus 1 matchup and going Energizer first, I just don't
And
agree on
Valkyrie's already got one.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that just miscommunication? It's just gotta be pure miscommunication.
Most likely. I just don't see any reason why whatsoever. Like, why would you go Energizer before Ghost Marchers? Unless you're going for the Steam Boots build, but still,
Get
like,
the Steam Boots
as you
first.
said. Yeah, that's not optimal for suicide.
That's really, really strange. God damn it. Talking before about how good Time to Die is, and he does stuff like this, and now I look like a fool. It's okay.
Yeah,
and the 6 looks like a fool, too. Because he
I
agreed
think he
with me.
probably just farmed 1,500 gold and was like, well, I could probably farm another 1,000 easy.
What the hell?
But I can't farm another 1,500 easy, so he bought Energizer. I don't know.
Did you guys just get a... Blank
What?
has reconnected, remaining
Yeah, I saw that
disconnection?
too.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. Maybe he reconnected.
Nobody was
I don't know. Maybe it's
DC.
some kind of bug.
Huh?
Because I doubt he was in the game.
It's very strange.
It's quite strange. Yeah, but speaking of Time to Die, he's one of the players that I want to keep an eye on because I've heard good things about him, and obviously he's like top 4 MMR as well. Not that that means anything.
That means something.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it means
mean
something,
everything.
but not necessarily anything like when you come to competitive.
Sure.
Because like,
There's
there's a lot
middle
of
lane. They're gonna try to
competitive
counter
places.
this. Christofield goes down, and the silence is on Bubbles. Bubbles can be in a lot of trouble with Kelpfield not lasting long enough for the TPs to come through. That's the change. Labyrinth's gonna die, and Tempest Hole with the eruption getting channeled up. We'll see if they can actually kill this Glacius. Bloodhunter definitely gonna fall. Like Glacius on the wrong side of the cliff, so it'll just be the 1-for-1. And man, that teleport change made a really big difference in that fight.
Bubbles didn't have to die either. I mean, he had the Bloodhunter ultimate on him, but I don't think he realized, so he just ran to his death.
Can I just point something out real quick? The support Magnus has his PK before the prisoner and before the bubbles.
Yeah, I have no clue how they managed that, but looking at the map right now, like, there's not a lot of words.
I mean, they have one.
Yeah, they have one, but that's it. Like, that's how WoG is just playing this way too safe. in a way, because they're not putting any pressure on the Legion side. So he just been feeling like I don't need ward anything. I'm just gonna focus on getting my bulky, and that's just good decision making from Jukabek, I think.
And I mean, they're pretty clearly focusing him as well. They're not. Oh god, deny the tower! Deny the tower! Wow.
Touch my tower!
That tower had what, like 0 health? They're pretty clearly focusing him and giving him some farm because sure he's 3-1 and 4, but currently sitting at 27 CS, which is a lot for a support at 19 minutes.
Parasite is 3,000 gold. You think he's going Codex? Or something else?
God, I hope not.
Sure hope he's getting the deposit box, but
He could have bought
there
it.
it is. Yeah, prisoner ultimate going down and time to die will fall. So prisoner very helpful.
Yeah,
What
I
else
bought
should
it,
that prisoner farm? He's going too good.
What a stun from Magus.
that is done.
That portal key clearly paying off. Completely whiffing. But yeah, we have a pretty even game here actually. 1700 gold advantage for WoG, and the experience is pretty much dead even. 66 advantage for the Hellborn team, which is at this point nothing. And as we move later, I do feel like obviously Legion has a substantial advantage. They have both the Valkyrie and the Swiftblade, as well as the Tempest Hole, Magnus, and stuff like that. So WoG needs to get active, like you said, and they're not doing it.
Don's support player is level 9 with a portal key and steam boots, while WoG's is level 6 with red marchers. So
yeah,
Don't count out the mana battery and the minor total.
That's true, and he's got wards now too. So he's got
nice.
a ward of rev and 2 words of sight. So big items here. But I'd like to see Legion get a little bit more aggressive. Get a Tempest Hole back up in 30 seconds. I believe that one that was used in mid was the first or second. I think it's the first one I've seen. I don't know if he's used it before that, but we really haven't seen
pretty
too
much the first one.
Team fight aggression.
I don't know what they're
from
doing
this
now, though.
Legion team. Top tower.
Yeah, but they don't need 5 players for that.
I mean, they're gonna take the opposing team's tier 1.
Yeah, but like showing off 4 people like that early, like the IWOG should just be pushing or taking Kongor or something like that now. Like it's not smart showing off 4 people like that.
Sure.
Super stupid. If you were against Recent Gaming, they would have been taking your racks by now.
All right.
Not even kidding. That's how good they are at those kind of situations.
I'm not sure if I believe you.
Okay,
that.
maybe not, but like
That's
they are
exaggeration.
insane though.
Might
on
be
that
a little
part.
bit of an exaggeration. Yeah, New Reasons definitely impressed me. I mean, that's a team that I feel like for a long time they've been thoroughly mediocre. They've just they should have gotten better, and they just kind of never did. Other teams overtook them, like especially Willowkeeper, Nullstone, various other teams, and they just passed them. And it seems like they figured something out now.
They figure out the draft.
Yeah.
Like they figure out in how to play the game. And they do it like pretty much the same thing every single game, like it's the strategy. So it's working for
Bottom
him
lane,
so far.
Tempest. There's more or less no way he's getting out of this. The restrain gonna reveal him, and it's a pretty easy kill. So Geomancer Portal keep paying dividends, as well as the Prisoner PK. And interesting use of the Valkyrie ultimate, considering that the Shackle was on Tempest. I don't really know. I guess they just thought, panicked.
Yeah, most likely it was just like, you know, someone was screaming in Skype or something like that, and he's just like, ultimate. More or less.
I think he ulted out of desperation.
Yeah. Although, even at level 2, the fade time on Valkyrie's ult is so long. Like, it doesn't actually say in it, but I feel like it's like 2 or 3 seconds. It's really crazy.
Oh, you mean the fade time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much it is
It's
actually.
really long. I don't know why, but it should be a lot shorter than it is.
Yeah, it is longer than you might think at least, because I know for a fact that like when you're playing team matchmaking and you're like, okay, let's go a Valk ultimate,
Right.
and then someone like, you know, are laning, everyone has to take a step back, not to show that the
Right.
Valk ultimate is gonna be used, but everyone is like going straight back into the creeps as soon as it's used in team matchmaking, and I'm like, you know it has a fade time, right?
can still see you. Anyway, Legion gonna resume their push in the top lane. We got 3 heroes beating on the tower, and Bubbles kind of hanging back, waiting for some counter initiation. Ward of Sight will spot out Geomancer, but he's gonna dig away, and he should be just fine. More or less.
Kill if Bubbles didn't fuck up his silence. I don't know if you saw it, but he used a song before they picked Polky.
I did not see it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say he shouldn't have done that. They also sort of revealed that they have a ward up there, so Glacius should be able to counter it. And top lane, they will jump onto Geomancer. Going to see a TP come in. Nice Bubbles in the background. Going to get the kelp field onto 3. Going to pay for this, though, as he eats the silence and a death face hug on a Tempest. No ultimate from him. Gets hooked back in. That's a pretty easy kill as well. Geomancer not going to hit the stun on anybody. Yeah, but he jumped, and Magnus actually survived as a result of it.
Wow, that was
so it's going to be 2 surviving on the Legion side as well as the Valkyrie, actually. So they lose 2 heroes, but Hellborn successfully defend the top tower. And hopefully we'll be seeing a counter word coming out from Glacius relatively quickly. Nice fight back from WoG, and they're going to actually take a pretty good golden experience lead. I didn't realize they're all of a sudden really far up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right there. I expected so much more from Dawn when it comes to team coordination and like decision making. Right now, like that team fight, for example, was just so disastrous. First Magnus jumps in, dies more or less, then Bubbles does the same mistake. Tempest is like, instead of falling back, he's like in the middle of it as well. So
I mean, if Magnus hadn't jumped when he did, Bubbles had a good initiation. He got a silence and a kill field on a 3. If you had the Magnus follow up with the Lava Surge after that, because it hadn't already been used on Geomancer, that could have been a really interesting team fight for Dawn. But since
Bubbles was fine as well when he jumped. Like he got a kill field off and he got the silence off, so Bloodhunter couldn't use his silence on him because he was silenced by the bubble silence. But yeah, he panicked and used to take cover before the shell surf instead for some reason. So that was sloppy by both Magnus and Bubbles, I would say. But yeah, good initiation if he would have been able to escape.
It's just the follow-up didn't seem to quite be there. And yeah, Tempest, no PK. I mean, Astrolabe, Ring of Sorcery, his farm hasn't been particularly great. I feel like it's a kind of a late Astrolabe, and especially because they're not pushing all that much. I don't know if I would have gone for that.
Nope, really good point. I don't, or I agree completely. I think that Astro is like one of those, or like one of the best timings in the game.
Yeah.
Because you can be like undefeatable if you get it at the right time early on into the game, and then you have a strong healing team, for example. But seeing as this team has 0 push potential whatsoever, and they're up against a prisoner and a Geomonster, which is really tough to push against, I just don't see any reason at all.
Top lane, they're going to try to cut you out moats on the Parasite, and they will do so pretty successfully. So it looks like they're going to once again turn this into a top tower push. They really enjoy this top lane, it seems.
Yeah. Vile Road was available at this time, right?
Yes.
As the game was.
Yes.
I'm surprised that neither team is using that item, because in Diamond you could see players do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, to varying degrees of success, but they also have the Valkyrie Prism on the Legion side, so a little bit less valuable for them. Then again, they haven't been using the Valk Prism all that much either. Anyway, middle lane, they're going to try to catch out this Prisoner. Should be pretty easy as they kill the top tower. And now Prisoner. Yep, they're going to deny the tower. And then kill the Prisoner as well, so really nice turn of events right there. They get a top tier 2, they deny their tier 2 mid, and they get a kill onto Prisoner. And where the hell was the rest of WoG while all of that was happening? Why is Prisoner solo pushing a tier 2 in the middle lane?
Don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like both teams are a little bit uncoordinated. Dawn picked it up a little bit now. I mean, they realized that they could actually use the Valkyr ultimate to get some pickoffs and, you know, splitting up a little bit more, which is what I should do because they got a very strong pickup team. But at the same time, like I mean, they got a puzzle box on the Parasite now, and I'm not sure what they're waiting for because they're not going to get stronger, and they're not going to like be able to ever get team fight advantage. So all they can really rely on at this point is to get pickoffs and then try to get something out of it, like a combo kill.
This is their time to fight. I don't know why.
They're going to put the jump onto Swiftblade, but he's going to heal back up, just stand there, so the hemorrhage is no damage. 5-second arrow onto Bloodhunter, and that's going to be a pretty easy kill. Tempest hole onto 2, not going to be cancelled as Prisoner jumps right inside of it. Swift Slash is going to finish off people, and Prisoner's going to die before his ultimate goes off. That's real bad. And so we've got 3 buyback on Bloodhunter. Yeah, he comes back in. That's going to be a Tempest kill. We'll see if they can get anything else out of it. Looks like Valkyrie Prism going to go off. The rest of the Legion side will retreat. Puzzle Box Minion from Parasite is going to chase down the Swiftblade, but I don't think that's going to result in too many positive things for the Hellborn team. Mostly because Swiftblade can just run away from this. There's no way that they can lock him down and kill him, I don't think. He's just too fast. Bloodhunter's really far away. No ultimate for 30 seconds, and he's going to get his Blood Sense activated pretty soon. There's the Leech as well. Nice spin, actually going to stop it. Bloodhunter, there's the Blood Sense. They really want this kill, but yeah, now it's going to get countered because they got a 2-man Lava Surge. Leech is going to put the freeze down. Valkyrie going to leap forward, and now there's the Diffuser, or the, not the Diffuser Blade, the Nullfire Blade on Parasite. Stun going to cancel the teleport from Glacius. That's another kill. It's almost like chasing somebody across the entire map is not a great idea.
Almost. I have no clue what they were doing. I mean, Bloodhunter was farming near the mid tower while Parasite was chasing, and then after like 10 seconds, they were like, "Hey, okay, come on, guys, come on." I mean, it's not too late yet, but
yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was too late.
And I mean, that fight as well, I mean, Bloodhunter initiates on the Swiftblade, he had a free kill, but he doesn't activate his BKB and gets a 5-second arrow in his face. Yeah. So, they could have completely won that fight.
And then he bought back and still didn't use his Dragon.
Yeah, but
did he do anything with the buyback?
Not really.
One kill.
Oh, you got the Tempest, yeah, that's true. Anyway, bottom lane, they're going to be able to catch out Bubbles, but Skillfield and Sue, not enough. And it's a pretty easy finish. Prisoner going to use the ultimate, but not bad. So, WoG gets a pick, but Dawn all of a sudden right back into this game. As WoG had a pretty substantial lead, and now that completely went away with a really good fight from Dawn in the middle lane. And HoN's a team game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how WoG is supposed to proceed right now. I mean, they need pickoffs, they need map control, I guess, and wards up in their opponent's forest, but like they can't necessarily kill Kongor, or they can, but like even if they get him, they don't have a hero that's doing very well with the token, and they can't push any towers either because they have. Yeah, okay, they got a Parasite actually. I didn't think of that, but they could take over a Catapult and slow push.
I think if they try to do that, they get counter pushed way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe if you get one pick off and then you do go for it, I think it could work.
That might work. But where are they going to get a pick off? I mean, Donner, they're like, we have team fight and we have the late game. We're just going to pub train. You can see in the 4 in the top lane. There's Parasite doesn't have too much opportunity to just get an easy pick off right now. They've killed Bubbles a couple of times because he's been out of position. Actually, Labyrinth 1, 6, and 5, so not a great game for him, but I mean,
no, he's been playing a bit sloppy. It's not easy to be up against a Parasite and a Bloodhunter and all that, as the Bubbles, but still. Yeah.
I mean, Valkyrie's going to go off here, and Dot Tower will be denied as Swiftblade ports into it. Let's see if they actually get any kills out of that. Doesn't look like they will. So, there you go. Hellborn taking the tower down. Not bad. Looks like the next opportunity will be Kongor.
Ward Revelation just missing. The Ward of Sight.
I don't think they can take Kong, to be honest. No, GMA's going to jump in onto 2. Magma's stunning away for some reason. I guess he didn't realize where everybody was, but the Ward of Sight should have given them pretty good vision. Hemorrhage's going to go through on Swiftblade. He's going to try to man fight. That's not going to go very well for him, though. Magma's going to take a death to the Bloodhunter, but the BKB will be wearing off relatively quickly, as that is his first charge, but there it goes. No more Magic Community. Tempest has a portal key and an ultimate. Geomancer with the jump once again, and nope, he's going to leave. But yeah, buyback on Swiftblade forces them out.
They should not be trying to fight with that buyback.
Skeleton King gonna get away, and Kelpfield actually gonna catch the Geomancer. Kelpfield goes through, and he's gonna try to dig away. Arrow is not gonna connect. Regenerate activated and immediately knocked off. Prisoner gonna jump in with his own Shrunken Head, only gonna hit one person with the ultimate. Will kill Tempest and Bubbles right off the bat. Parasite trying to do something, misses the face hug thanks to the leap from Valkyrie off the side. Magnus is gonna have to portal key him or pushback himself out of the woods, and he's gonna be able to get the portal key off. I don't think he lives through this though, because there's more or less no way that Bloodhunter doesn't kill him. Yeah, that's gonna happen. So
that poor.
Surely.
Don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, at least Lava Surge into the trees. Maybe not out in the open.
Yeah, if you Lava Surge in the trees, they actually might survive. Even with the vision, I don't know if they had the damage. But that's going to turn into a Kongor, so 3 kills go in the favor of Hellborn as their chase also didn't work. That looks like it'd be a token on Bloodhunter.
Yep, but like I said, like token doesn't necessarily do too much on a Bloodhunter because without his ultimates, like he can't do too much. So it's not gonna help them to, or like they're not gonna be able to accomplish anything with the token.
Yeah.
Simeon target eliminated.
Well, he gets healed right back up for killing Kong. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's one massive heal.
That's probably the biggest single heal in the entire game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You should make a quiz.
Yeah.
What's the biggest heal in Heroes of New Earth? Bloodhunter killing Kong or...
Swiftblade gonna run into a couple of heroes in the top lane, pops his Energizer. Parasite trying to chase him down, but the Ghost Marchers do not afford him enough speed. Ancient stacking be going on here from Valkyrie.
I just noticed that he did go Steam Boots on
Yes, he did.
Swiftblade. So I guess the Energizer first kind of makes sense. I don't know if it was the right decision over Steam Boots, but it makes sense that he went it instead of Steam Boots first.
I get why he went the Energizer. I still think he should have gone Steam Boots first.
Yeah, it depends, it depends. Still think he should have gone for the Ghost Marchers, since it was a suicide, but... I can see why he wants the Steam Boots as well, to survive the burst from the Bloodhunter, especially. But other than that, I still think Ghost Marchers are just so good on that hero. Especially if you're running the... or if you're, like, running the semi-carry. Not the hard carry.
And they really do seem to be splitting farm a little bit more. This is an issue that Dawn... I think this is the reason that they more or less got bounced from Diamond. I mean, they finished 3rd place in Cycle 4, and then in Cycle 5 they actually got knocked out, is because teams sort of figured out they are a very Probusk-centered team. And if you can shut down Probusk, you can beat Dawn very easily. And that's basically what happened. And in this game, Probusk is sub 400 GPM, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they are very centered against or around Probusk at most times, and also the time they went or placed 3rd in the Diamond was, I'm pretty sure that every single game they played Kraken and Keeper Suicide. Pretty much every single game.
At least they
Kraken
tried.
made Suicide pop.
I think people started banning Kraken against them every so often because they realized that's easily Labyrinth's best hero, and he is an extremely good Kraken player. Just like, let's not deal with that.
The Hellborn.
And we'll take a top tower on the Hellborn side. So that's the last outer tower in favor of the Hellborn team. In fact, only one outer tower remaining in the entire game is the bottom tier 2. And that's only at half health, but they're going to keep pushing this.
Yeah, they got the token, so I guess why not? They don't have a catapult on Parasite, which is a bit unfortunate, but...
I don't understand pushing into the base with over 8,000 gold pulled on their heroes, though.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
And
why does Geo 4,000?
Bloodhunter needs to silence.
They shouldn't over... Oh, God.
Anyway, they will jump with Prisoner and the Shrunken Head onto 2. They're going to hit just the Tempest, though, as Magnus manages to get away. Iceland Go going to die right off the bat. We'll see if he buys back. Swiftblade, man fighting against Bloodhunter, trying to run away. Has the Hammerage on him, but he'll get pushed forward. So Slash is there, and he's going to take the token. Well played. Geomancer comes in for the cleanup, and they do get the kill. The rest of the Legion side having to retreat a little bit. Probusk hitting 3 1 second arrow, and Crystal Field also going to miss. Kelpfield onto a couple. Geomancer going to fall here as well as both manually initiators. Parasite also going to eat the eruption there. Ends up going to get the kill onto Labyrinth, but that's going to be just about it. Now the Diffusal Blade. God, I keep saying that. But the Nullfire Blade ends up helping to kill the G Glacius. Run away, Bloodhunter.
That sorted out so well.
It did.
For our IWOG. Like, there was perfect initiation by Prisoner onto the Tempest and the Magnus, but after that, like, they just dove way too far. And also they got a bit unlucky with the Swiftblade kill, obviously. He got Swift Slashes off. They could have turned it all around. But also the fact that Bloodhunter choose to silence Valk in a fight. Like, he was 100% HP. He had like all his spells on cooldown, and he silences the Valk, and he just stands there and like right-clicks 4 people to death. Oh boy.
Bloodhunter was sitting there pounding and right-clicks onto the tower. I'm like, why doesn't he silence himself? I mean, that's plus 80% base damage. They would have killed the tower so much faster. And he can Shrunken Head and dispel it. So, if he needs his spells.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you should never silence a Valkyr, or a Valkyrie at least, unless like he's really low HP and about to die.
Like Magnus, great. Tempest, great. Bubbles, great. Valkyrie, no.
Why is he going Basher when Valk's going Wingbow?
Reasons?
I mean, it still goes pretty well with the hero. I mean, his blood sense, running after
Yeah.
people and just bashing him down. But I'm not
I
sure what
would've
otherwise
said-
he could have gone. Or what would you rather see him go?
Savage. I mean, he's only 1k from it before the Basher. Why not just farm 1k and buy Savage if you're gonna? It's almost the same item, just more damage, and it goes through Wingbow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I guess he could go that as well, but like brutalizer stuns for a little bit longer. I guess that's why he wanted it. I'm not sure what he's trying to or what he's planning on going after that though. So yeah, he could possibly have gone for the Savage as well.
Valk Prism was used.
Oh, boy.
I think it might have been spotted by this Word of Sight in the middle lane though, and gonna drop a deep Word of Sight from Magnus, and perhaps look to take this top tower. Or push a little bit more into top. They know that Bloodhunter has no token, of course.
I really don't think that the Hellborn team should be afraid of taking team fights at this point, as long as they got a vision. Jumping in with Prisoner BKB, I mean, there's not much Legion can do about that.
I think they should. Every single one of the last 3 or 4 team fights has basically been 4v5. Tempest has had no impact whatsoever.
Yeah,
And,
his positioning in this game has been terrible,
Right.
to be honest.
and
Yeah.
despite that, Dawn are still doing pretty well in these team fights. So, if Tempest has an impact, they're gonna lose. And if he doesn't, they
Yeah,
could
but I feel
still
like
lose.
WoG has done a lot of mistakes as well in the team
Sure.
fights, like,
Silencing
and they
Valkyrie.
got 2 very easy ways, or they got so many ways to cancel the Tempest, so I don't think
Yeah.
he can get ultimate
That's
off
why
until he
Tempest
gets
going
his
for a
BKB.
shrunken. I really don't understand why. Anyway, in the middle lane, they're gonna catch Geomancer. We'll see if they actually have damage. Yeah, Swift Slashes are there. He's gonna put the Crystal Field down. We'll hit on nobody. Push
He just
forward.
bought his sheep. He has no buyback.
Well, they may know that.
I don't know why he would still be farming there when he just bought sheep. He should be giving farm to someone else, or not even farming there. He has all the items he needs. He's way out of position anyways.
Maybe he figured between Dig, Push Book, and Portal Key, I'm safe. Clearly not.
I didn't even see how he died. How did he die?
He got
Like,
jumped
I
by,
mean,
like,
I saw
3
his
heroes.
death, but like, wasn't he able to take away? Or was he stun locked?
Yeah, it's the Magmas that he got ulted by the Swiftblade, and who else was it?
Sunlock, silence,
It was bad.
everything.
What did he get status? Oh, from the bubbles.
Yeah.
Sad times for Geomancer, but they're not going to make too much out of this. They do steal the opposing team's Ancients, but he's going to be back in 20 seconds, and not too much else that's going to happen in favor of Dawn in that time. But
Bloodhunter finished his light brand after Basher.
that's,
Yeah, not
that's
sure about
fine.
that one.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's fine since it doesn't take up any more spots.
Slots,
But
yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
oh, initiation on the bubbles in the mid. He
Yeah.
is gonna go for this. He's gonna BKB as well, so this is a good kill, which he should
Is he
get.
going to get it? Yeah, they are. Prisoner actually does finish it off. BKB on. Bloodhunter going to wear off, and they're going to run away on Dawn.
And he silences the Valkyries again.
There's the
Like,
stun. Yeah.
please don't do that.
I mean, you knew Arrow was down, so yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when he's full HP, like, no reason whatsoever to do that. You got his
I mean,
Wingbow completed now as well,
yeah.
so...
Does Valkyrie get lifesteal here?
No, I don't think so.
I'm just saying,
can.
like, if
Or
Bloodhunter's going to
Frostwolf.
keep silencing him, then stand and fight.
I don't know. I don't think he should, though.
I
think he should
don't
get
think he
something.
really should either, but be kind of
BKB.
funny.
I would say BKB.
Yeah, he needs that. You're right. So Tempa's going to finish the Shrunken. He still has red boots. I don't understand why he's going Shrunken in this game. Doesn't make any sense to me.
this.
Yeah, and they're going to eat an arrow right onto Bloodhunter's face. He's pretty damn tanky, but he's taking a lot of damage, and he's going to Tempest Ultimate onto 3, and Glacius walks into it. Kelfield on everybody as well. Tempest Ultimate not stopped. The entire side of WoG is falling. Glacius and Prisoner, the other ones to survive right now. BKB and Portal Key away from Prisoner. That's going to wear off, though. I don't think they're going to find him, and it looks like Prisoner should be able to survive this, but that was ugly. That was really, really ugly.
That was... Oh god, I don't even know what to say. Tempest finished up his BKB, which
Oh
was
my god.
obviously a surprise.
I am-
He did go life. Good.
I am a god.
That's good.
What?
You went Whispering Helm on Valkyrie.
Oh.
I
Alright.
am
I like
god.
it. I don't know.
Yeah, but like pushing up that versus the racks when like 4 people are up
Yep.
and you don't even know if Bubbles has a buyback or not, which he did in this case, and you don't have the BKB up. Like you have a cooldown on BKB as Bloodhunter, there's no reason whatsoever to be up there. Like just let Parasite slow push it. What's the rush?
No token. Tempest Hole was available. Magnus Eruption, I think, was available, and yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense. Looks like Dawn gonna take this opportunity to counter push. Most everybody up in 10 to 15 seconds at this point, so they're gonna have to kill Rex pretty quickly. Luckily, they can do that. And they're gonna jump in with his PK, but that's a really poor decision. He's gonna activate the BKB, but he will force everybody to run away. He still take the Rex, and
Valkyrie immediately purged the shackle off of Magnus. That was really good.
Yeah. That's something we
I
haven't
didn't know
talked
you
about at
could
all.
do that.
But, Null
Yeah.
Fireblade on Valkyrie is something we don't see very often.
Huge
but
pickup this game for
it
their
is.
team.
Between the Bloodhunter Silence and the Earth's Grasp from Geomancer, the Silence from Parasite, and then of course
The freeze from
slowing effect.
Glacius.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit to purge.
There really is. He's a good item. I really like his build. I think he built perfectly this game, Provost. I think it's flawless, in my opinion.
I would have liked to see a BKB though, but as long as he doesn't get focused, as long as he can stay in the background and have his team protect him, he's fine. But he still needs to be careful, because I think Geomonster should just Cheap Stick and Crystal Field on top of him every single fight, more or less.
I think he can drop the Energizer and get a Shrunken, because Swiftplay's got an Energizer. It's not like they won't have one if he loses his. The thing I'm concerned about with him right now is no teleport, because
Yeah, or no buyback.
well, that's a bigger concern, but in terms of item slots. But I'm buying more and more into my Whispering Helm idea, because the rest of the team really has the lockdown. Like, they don't need him to get something like a Frostwolf to try to slow people. They've got stuns and Kelp Field and stuff. Like, it's fine if he just gets that and he's massively damaging, and he survives in these fights. Anyway.
Okay.
I have the
Not
Prism
sure what
activated.
that Okay, I don't know.
They sort of wanted to scout Congra a little bit and maybe try to get a pick if they could. Courier going to fly by a couple of people, and it will be shielded. But they have to be careful about this, because they're going to reveal the position. Anyway, Sheepstick can go through onto Swiftblade. Not the greatest target. Magnus jumping in the background. Ultimate from Glacius going down. Going to be canceled really quickly. Kelpfield there. Tempest Hole catching 2. Not going to be stopped. Crystal Field not going to hit anybody either. Prisoner dead right off the bat. Not fire on Geomancer. He's going to be able to dig away and should be just fine as time to 9 Swiftblade falls. Eruption comes through. That's going to be a kill on the Parasite. Runner now trying to run away. Glacius going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah. Well, he can't leap now, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much. Valkyrie definitely going to die. Kelvor and Courier falls as well, which is pretty hilarious. And Bloodhunter going to be able to run away with his Blood Suns activated. Geomancer still very low, but he should be able to survive. He jumps into the woods and teleports away. So another really strong fight for Dawn, as they pick off 3 heroes, and they actually get a buyback at a Prisoner as well.
They had a free kill on Swiftblade at the start of that fight, but like 2 of the members went back while Geomonster went in, and Geomonster didn't put down his Crystal Field. He just like sheeped him, and then he waited with the stun, and like so he wasted literally both his lockdown spells for no reason at all in the beginning of the team fight, and they did nothing. If they just manned up on that and just placed the Crystal Field, they would have had a kill on Swiftblade and completely won that fight.
Yeah. They really have to figure out a way to stop this Tempest. They have way too many Tempest counters for that Shrunken Head Tempest ultimate to actually be going off in full duration every single one of these fights. Like, Prisoner just needs to wait for it.
Yeah. I think that was pretty much what he wanted to do last fight. Like, he didn't want to go in, he didn't want to follow Geomonster, he wanted to stay out. But then Geomonster kind of committed more and more to it, then he felt forced to go in. I mean, Parasite's sitting in his puzzle box minion every single time as well. I mean, if he jumps out of that, I mean, he's gonna lose the Mauler and do nothing for the rest of the team fight as well, so he should probably look to get a pull key.
I'm okay with them just keeping Prisoner back, to be honest. I don't think they need PKN. Because, like, it's more valuable to have the puzzle box than it is to cancel the Tempest Hole, especially when Prisoner's available to do that.
I don't know. I feel like they need Prisoner though in the middle of the fight
They kind of do.
with that ultimate.
I don't know. Shrunk can be popped by Prisoner and he's fine. Just TP away. Well,
Okay, Bloodhunter 5k gold. What's he gonna build?
Parasite does have 2750, so he could get a Porky.
Porky, please.
There's the Savage on BH.
Now he gets a
Finally.
Savage.
It's funny, now he has a Savage, but now he needs a wing bow. So,
Yeah.
you know, as good as it is, now Valkyrie is hitting way too hard for him to even, you know, contest.
The Savage doesn't do because he's not hitting the Valk.
Yeah,
Like,
he's never
Exactly.
So it's great, but there are better pure damage items, and
That's why I say now he needs a wing bow.
Right.
If he went Savage then wing bow instead of Basher, I think it would have been much more ideal.
Please don't push the mid tower.
well, it seems like that's what they're gonna do. Blood are gonna eat a 5-second
He
arrow,
just
and yeah, there's no way you're getting
walks
out of that, buddy. He's gonna lose the token. And come right back up. Activates the Shrunken Head, has the Hemorrhage as well, but a Tempest Hole catching everybody, and they just can't do that. Eruption on the face of it, and they're all getting destroyed. Forsaken gonna be the last one, and he's gonna fall. Geomancer not even anywhere close to that. And CC Vote getting called. If you're gonna
There's
play like
like-
that, you might as well concede. And they're gonna catch the Geomancer
Why
too
are-
as well. He's gonna get stunned by the
Why
kelp
did
field.
Pensei push into the racks with almost 3,000 gold? Why didn't he buy a PK to cancel Tempest? That's what he needed to do.
Why were they all holding hands against the Tempest with a portal key?
I don't know. Why would they even run blindly up in the fucking
Jesus Christ.
like base tower when everyone was alive more or less? Like just go for the freaking top racks.
I don't know. It just shows. I don't know if it's like whatever that factor, intimidation factor. You're playing against a well-known good team. You'd kind
Yeah.
of choke, or maybe it's just they're just not organized. But it's obviously sloppy.
I mean, I've seen WoG play better than this. I've seen Dawn play better than this, to be fair. But Dawn sort of recovered this. They had a bit of an iffy early game, but they've picked up their coordination. Their team fights have been much better in the last 10 or 15 plus minutes, and I mean, to their credit, they've done very well. It's not like it's just purely been WoG handing them this game. It's been a little bit of that. Anyway, another 5-second arrow going to kill the Geomancer, and Glacier's going to fall as well as they're starting to well dive. So we're going to see Mega Creeps in a moment. Prisoner Hook not going to connect. And CC Poke getting called once again. Shrunken Head gets activated by the Bloodhunter. He wants something, but it's probably not going to be too much. Valkyrie just running away, purges himself, eats the silence. There goes the Bloodhunter, and there's the CC as well. So
Huh.
took them nearly an hour, but eventually Dawn does knock off WoG in game 1 here. And to their credit, they recovered. Like I said, they were having some issues, I think, earlier on with their play and their team coordination, but in the end, lots of very pretty scores for them. Probus 12, 0, and 14, especially times I 10, 6, and 10, etc. 21 assists on Magnus, not bad. But final thoughts? We'll go to In the 6 first for anything else.
Well, I think the only reason Dawn didn't have a much better game is probably because they drafted something that was probably pretty uncomfortable for them. I don't want to say they made a mistake with their draft because they made it work, but I think they drafted something pretty unusual and they weren't used to it. But I also think Hellborn kind of threw at the beginning, going into the enemy jungle with Parasite, and the Bloodhunter mid was good against Bubbles, but the Geomancer should have been bottom. Prisoner should have been farming his PK. I think they would have had a much better chance.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and say they probably made a mistake with their draft. I really don't think the Bubbles was a great pick, but that's not
Not the bubble or not the Valk either, in my opinion.
I think they could have had one of those, not both.
If you want a Valk, you should try to have a little bit more burst damage in your team, I feel. Something that can actually do well with his ultimate.
Yeah, okay, I can see
but
that.
they had a pretty passive team. I mean, combined with the Tempest, I don't think Valk is a good option.
But yeah, continue. I'm going final thoughts on Znoowy now. So
Final thoughts. I don't know. The team coordination from both teams were a little bit off, I feel. The team decision to go for the offensive tri-lane was not necessary and made them lose a lot, even though Bloodhunter and both and Geomancer as well did very well on their solo lanes. They just didn't take they didn't take their upper hand into they didn't do anything with the lead that they had on Blood Hunter and GM Monster. They just simply put it back or set back and constantly went and died in the enemy jungle for no reason at all. And after that, they missed their timings. They didn't get the puzzle box on the Parasite, and they didn't take the team fights in the way that they should. They were way too rushed in team fights every single time. I feel like that's a common issue though for a lot of gold teams, that you just, when you're going for team fights, you don't sit back and just idle or just wait for the enemy to make mistakes. You're rushing straight in, and you just want action to happen immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm expecting more from Dawn though, or I'm expecting more from both teams when it comes to team coordination. But especially from Dawn, I just want them to be a little bit more on top of things.
Yeah. For a team that went as far in Diamond as they did, you'd expect them to be a little more coordinated than they were. I'm willing to cut both of them some slack because they did just both make roster changes, and so perhaps they're still sort of feeling things out in that regard. And I think you could see as the game progressed, they got better at doing things together. So hopefully that'll improve.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
But for now, there were some disappointing matters. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Dawn did not disappoint in the victory category as they take game 1, so we'll be moving on to game 2 in just a moment.